The foundation stone or rock is the name of the rock at the heart of the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem. It is also known as the pierced stone because it has a small hole on the southeastern corner that enters a cavern beneath the rock, known as the Well of Souls. It is the holiest site in Judaism. Jewish tradition views it as the spiritual junction of heaven and earth. Jews traditionally face it while praying, in the belief that it was the location of the Holy of Holies in the temple. Location. The rock is located towards the center of the Temple Mount, an artificial platform built and expanded over many centuries. The current shape is the result of an expansion by Herod the Great on top of vaults over a hill, generally believed to be Mount Moriah. The rock constitutes the peak of this now hidden hill, which is also the highest in early biblical Jerusalem, looming over the city of David. There is some controversy among secular scholars about equating Mount Moriah, the Temple Mount and the foundation stone as the location where events occurred according to the biblical narrative. Early Jewish writings assist in confirming that the Dome of the Rock, completed in 691, is the site of the Holy of Holies and therefore the location of the foundation stone. Pirkei Rabbi Eliezer, a midrashic narrative of the more important events of the Torah believed to have been compiled in Italy shortly after 833 CE, writes, Rabbi Yishmael said, "In the future, the sons of Ishmael will do 15 things in the land of Israel. They will fence in the breaches of the walls of the temple and construct a building on the site of the sanctuary." Religious Jewish scholars have discussed the precise location of the rock. The Rabbaz is convinced that, under the dome on the Temple Mount, which the Arabs call El Sakra, without a doubt is the location of the foundation stone. The Travels of Rabbi Petakiah of Ratisbon, c. 1180. The Travels of Benjamin of Tudela and the Travels of the Student of the Ramban all equally state that, on the Temple Mount stands a beautiful sanctuary which an Arab king built long ago, over the place of the temple's sanctuary and courtyard. Rabbi Obadiah ben Abraham, who wrote a letter from Jerusalem in 1488, says that, "I sought the place of the foundation stone where the Ark of the Covenant was placed, and many people told me it is under a tall and beautiful dome which the Arabs built in the temple precinct." Others disagree, citing that if the southern wall of the Temple Mount is in fact the one which existed when the temple was standing, the measurements given in the Talmud do not reconcile. The Holy of Holies ends up being too far north and they therefore locate the foundation stone as being directly opposite the current exposed section of the western wall, where no building currently stands. This is the view of the Arizal and the Maharsha, who state the prophecy that Zion will become a plowed field indicates that no dwelling will be established there until the time of the redemption. It therefore follows that the area of the temple courtyard and Holy of Holies is situated in the unbuilt area between the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Some believe the position is north of the Dome of the Rock, opposite the Gate of Mercy, which Rabbi Emanuel Chiraki identifies as the Shushan Gate mentioned in the Talmud. This gate was described as being opposite the opening of the sanctuary. Modern Jewish academics list 4 possible locations of the foundation stone. The stone that was located beneath the Ark of the Covenant is the one under the Dome of the Rock. The stone that was located beneath the altar is now the one that is under the Dome of the Rock. The stone that was located beneath the Ark of the Covenant is now near El-Kaz Fountain to the south of the Dome of the Rock. The stone that was located beneath the Ark of the Covenant is now inside the Spirit's Dome situated to the north of the Dome of the Rock. Description: although the rock is part of the surrounding 90-million-year-old Upper Turonian stage, late Cretaceous karsted limestone, the southern side forms a ledge, with a gap between it and the surrounding ground. A set of steps currently uses this gap to provide access from the Dome of the Rock to the Well of Souls beneath it. The rock has several human-made cuts in its surface. These are generally attributed to the Crusaders. whose frequent damage to the rock was so severe that the Christian kings of Jerusalem finally put a marble slab over the rock to protect it. More recently, there has been speculation that several man-made features of the rock's surface may substantially predate the Crusaders. Archaeologist Leon Rittmeyer noticed that there are sections of the rock cut completely flat, which north to south have a width of 6 cubits, precisely the width that the Mishnah credits to the wall of the Holy of Holies. And hence Rittmeyer proposed that these flat sections constitute foundation trenches on top of which the walls of the original temple were laid. However, according to Josephus, there were 31 steps up to the Holy of Holies from the lower level of the Temple Mount, and the Mishnah identifies 29 steps in total, and each step was half a cubit in height. This is a height of at least 22 feet. The height of the Sakra is 21 feet above the lower level of the Temple Mount, and should therefore have been under the floor. Nevertheless, taking the flat surface to be the position of the southern wall of a square enclosure, the west and north sides of which are formed by the low clean-cut scarp at these edges of the rock. At the position of the hypothetical center is a rectangular cut in the rock that is about 2.5 cubits long and 1.5 cubits wide, which are the dimensions of the Ark of the Covenant. The Mishnah gives the height of the rock as 3 finger breadths above the ground. Radbaz discusses the apparent contradiction of the Mishnah's measurements and the actual measurement of the rock within the dome of the rock, which he estimates as the height of 2 men above the ground. He concluded that many changes in the natural configuration of the Temple Mount have taken place, which can be attributed to excavations made by the various peoples who have occupied Jerusalem throughout the ages. Jewish significance. This is the holiest site in Judaism. Jews all over the world pray towards the foundation stone. The Roman-era Midrash Tanchuma sums up the centrality of and holiness of this site in Judaism. As the navel is set in the center of the human body, so is the land of Israel the navel of the world. Situated in the center of the world, and Jerusalem in the center of the land of Israel, and the sanctuary in the center of Jerusalem, and the holy place in the center of the sanctuary, and the ark in the center of the holy place, and the foundation stone before the holy place, because from it the world was founded. According to the sages of the Talmud, it was from this rock that the world was created, itself being the first part of the earth to come into existence. In the words of the Zohar, the world was not created until God took a stone called Even Hashatir and threw it into the depths where it was fixed from above till below, and from it the world expanded. It is the center point of the world, and on this spot stood the Holy of Holies. According to the Talmud, it was close to here, on the site of the altar, that God gathered the earth that was formed into Adam. It was on this rock that Adam, and later Cain, Abel, and Noah, offered sacrifices to God. Jewish sources identify this rock as the place mentioned in the Bible where Abraham fulfilled God's test to see if he would be willing to sacrifice his son Isaac. The mountain is identified as Moriah in Genesis chapter 22. It is also identified as the rock upon which Jacob dreamt about angels ascending and descending on a ladder and consequently consecrating in, offering a sacrifice upon. When, according to the Bible, King David purchased a threshing floor owned by Araunah the Jebusite, it is believed that it was upon this rock that he offered the sacrifice mentioned in the verse. He wanted to construct a permanent temple there, but as his hands were bloodied, he was forbidden to do so himself. The task was left to his son Solomon, who completed the temple in c. 950 BCE. The Mishnah in Tractate Yoma mentions a stone situated in the Holy of Holies that was called Shetia and had been revealed by the early prophets. An early Christian source noting Jewish attachment to the rock may be found in the Bordeaux Pilgrim, written between 333–334 CE when Jerusalem was under Roman rule, which describes a perforated stone to which the Jews come every year and anoint it, bewail themselves with groans, rend their garments, and so depart, roll in the temple situated inside the Holy of Holies. This was the rock upon which the Ark of the Covenant was placed in the First Temple. During the Second Temple period, when the Ark of the Covenant was not present, the stone was used by the high priest, who offered up the incense and sprinkled the blood of the sacrifices on it during the Yom Kippur service. Commemoration. In Jewish law, the Jerusalem Talmud states, women are accustomed not to prepare or attach warp threads to a weaving loom from Rosh Chodesh Av onwards, because during the month of Av the foundation stone was destroyed. Citing this, the Mishnah Berurah rules that not only are women not to prepare or attach warp threads to a weaving loom, but it is forbidden for anyone to make, buy or wear new clothes or shoes from the beginning of the week in which Tisha B'Av falls until after the fast, and that people should ideally not do so from the beginning of Av. In further commemoration of the foundation stone, it is also forbidden to eat meat or drink wine from the beginning of the week in which Tisha B'Av falls until after the fast. Some have the custom to refrain from these foodstuffs from Rosh Chodesh Av, while others do so from the 17th of Tammuz. Liturgical references. In the days when Selachot are recited, in the days leading up to Rosh Hashanah until Yom Kippur, the supplications include the following references. You carried us and placed us on the holy city's height, you settled us on the patriarch's rocky peak. Upon it lying the stone from which the foundation was hewn, who gives ear from which the waters flow. During Sukkot, the following references to the foundation stone are mentioned in the Hoshannot recital. Please save. Foundation stone. Please save. Please save. Adorn us with the elevated stone. Please save. Islamic significance. The noble sanctuary, where the foundation stone is located, is thought by commentators of the Quran to be the place to which Muhammad traveled in the night journey. Although the Quran does not specifically mention Jerusalem in name as the ascension site, labeling the site as the Al-Aqsa Mosque, the Hadith, the recorded sayings of Muhammad, specify that the site is indeed the foundation stone in Jerusalem. According to Islamic belief, angels visited the site 2,000 years before the creation of Adam. It is also thought to be the place where Israfel, the angel of the trumpet, will sound his horn on Resurrection Day. Beneath the foundation stone is a cavern known as the Well of Souls. It is sometimes thought of as the traditional hiding place of the Ark of the Covenant.